Hmm. Alright. Time to start. To continue with the Apocrypha, and continue right directly at the Proverbs xxi.20-xxii.15. And a page on the page 808. Oh, come on now. Don't be a piece of shit, game. Really? I can't even... I was about to say. For some reason, this damn game does not want to respond at all. Shit. Had to do a menu drag. Wait, what the fuck does it say? Pirate versus boners. That's funny as shit. That is brand new. It was never called that. Okay, that's funny. I think I'll go for this map. Alright, I got a few more pages on the Proverbs side on the Apocrypha. Might as well finish it up today. And after that, maybe I just fuck around and pretty much on either next live stream or be part of the same live stream. "50,000 years later, the lure. It may started, but it's still loading. 50,000 years is still loading." What the fuck is it? Is American Online? There we go. Sorry about that. Bad fucking timing. Anyways. Yes, I am back on this map that I haven't been for a long time. The last time that this map was featured was on the music video I made a while back. Yeah. This is literally the last feature on a music video. It's been a long time since I did that. Now, where is the part? There's a tree in it. I know damn well I've been to one. There's a big old tree in the center. Ah, there it is. I think that's gonna float. Okay, that's too much of that. Shit. What is the perfect position for me to pull this off? You know what? This will be fine. Screw it. Fuck it. Alright. On page 808 on the Sepulchre with Apocrypha, Proverbs XXI.20-XXII.15. Anyways, better to dwell in a wilderness than with a quarrelsome and talkative and passionate woman. There's someone out there who can handle that. And someone can handle it. A very talkative woman. But that's just from personal perspective. But it says that a desirable treasure will rest on a fucking speech fuck. Yeah. I'll start over. A desirable treasure will rest on the mouth of the wise, but foolish men will swallow it up. The way of righteousness and mercy will find life and glory. A wise man assaults strong cities and demolishes the fortress in which the ungodly trusted. He that keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps his soul from trouble. A bold and self-willed and insolent man is called a pest. And he that remembers injuries is a transgressor. Desires kill the sluggard. Desires kill the sluggard, for his hands do not choose to do anything. An ungodly man entertains evil desires all the day, but the righteous is unsparingly merciful and compassionate. The sacrifices of the ungodly are abomination to the Lord, for they offer them wickedly. A false witness shall perish, but an obedient man will speak cautiously. An ungodly man impudently withstands with his face, but the upright man himself understands his ways. There is no wisdom, there is no courage, there is no counsel against the ungodly. A horse is prepared for the day of battle, but help is of the Lord. A fair name is better than much wealth, and good favor is above silver and gold. The rich and the poor met together, but the Lord made them both. An intelligent man seeing a bad man severely punished is himself instructed, but fools pass by and are punished. The fear of the Lord is the offspring of wisdom and wealth and glory and life. Thistles and snares are in perverse ways, but he that keeps his soul will refrain from them. The rich will rule over the poor, and servants will lend to their own masters. I was going to make it an 1800s joke, but I don't think it's a good time, on that one. That's just a wrong joke. It's popped in my head when I see that one. My bad. I had to read this one just to make it up for that one. The rich will rule over the poor, and servants will lend to their own masters. He that sows wickedness shall reap troubles, and shall fully receive the punishment of his deeds. God loves a cheerful and liberal man. Hope it ain't that liberal.
I'm offended!
Talk about today's society. It was but a man shall fully prove the folly of his works. He that has pity on the poor shall himself be maintained. For he has given of his own bread to the poor. He that gives liberally secures victory and honor. But he takes away the life of them that possesses them. Cast out a pestilent person from the council, and strife shall go out with him. For when he sits in the council, he dishonors all. The Lord loves holy hearts, and all blameless persons are acceptable with him. A king rules with his lips, but the eyes of the Lord preserve discretion. But the transgressor despises wise words. The sluggard makes excuses and says, "There is a lion in the ways and murderers in the streets." The mouth of a transgressor is a deep pit, and he that is hated of the Lord shall fall into it. Evil ways are before a man, and he does not like to turn away from them. But it is needful to turn aside from a perverse and bad way. Folly is attached to the heart of a child, but the rod and instruction are then far from him. He that oppresses the poor increases his own substance, yet gives to the rich so as to make it less. Incline thine ear to the words of the wise. Oh, I added the in there, but still. Incline thine ear to the words of wise men. Hear also my word, and apply thine heart, that thou mayest know that they are good. And if thou lay them to heart, they shall also gladden thee on thy lips, that thy hope may be in the Lord, and he may make thy way known to thee. And do thou too repeatedly record them for thyself on the table of thine heart, for counsel and knowledge. I therefore teach thee truth and knowledge, good to hear, that thou mayest answer words of truth to them that question thee. Do no violence to the poor, for he is needy, neither dishonor the helpless man in the gates. For the Lord will plead his cause, and thou shalt deliver thy soul in safety. Be not companion to a furious man, neither lodge with a passionate man, lest thou learn of his ways, and get snares to thy soul. Become not surety of... Oh, wait, I messed up. Read this part. Become not surety from respect of a man's person. For if those have not winch... Oh wait, a winch is whence. W-H-E-N-C-E. Alright, yeah, did not say winches is whence. Let's start over. Alright. For if those have not whence to give compensation, they will take the bed that is under thee. Remove not the old landmarks which thy fathers placed. It is fit that an observant man and one diligent in his business should attend on kings, and not attend on slothful men. If thou sit to sup at the table of a prince, consider attentively the things set before thee, and apply thine hand, knowing that it behooves thee. What? And reread it. Behooves. B-E-H-O-V-E-S. Behooves. What kind of entity are walking around as a man with the feet of a goat? It's been behooved! I couldn't help but make a joke on that word. My bad. Alright, at the store ever since I couldn't help but make a joke on the word behooves. It behooves thee to prepare such meats. But if thou art very insatiable... Wait. I-N-S-A-T-I-A-B-L-E. Insatiable? I think that was called? Insatiable. Whatever the fuck the word's called. It was... Insatiable? Whatever it is. Desire not his provisions, for these belong to a false life. If thou art poor, measure not thyself with a rich man, but refrain thyself in thy wisdom. If thou shouldest fix thine eye upon him, he will disappear. For wings like an eagle's are prepared for him, and he returns to the house of his master. Sup not with an envious man, neither desire thou his meats, so he eats and drinks as if any one should swallow a hair, and do not bring him into thyself. Especially you talk about cooking a rabbit. far as I know, another word for rabbit is hare. A certain species. Anyways, so he eats and drinks as if anyone should swallow a hare, meaning rabbit. At least as far as I know. And do not bring him into thyself, nor eat thy morsel with him, for he will vomit it up, and spoil thy fair words. That must be some bad meat. But this is actually a different meaning altogether. It's basically just, though I'm the one who is just straight up reading it live, I don't understand much, but it's just, I'm just saying as is. I just know the fact that hare means rabbit in certain parts of the country. So basically, it's just, and those who understand it knows that it's not going to talk about what is on this thing apocryphal. Please correct me feel free to correct me of what this apocryphal is talking about. So on the just put in a comment down below on this live and just correct me right away, and I'll check on it later. Anyways, sup not with an envious man. Oh, I get it now. Neither desire thou his meats. So he eats and drinks as if any should. Fuck, I can't speak English. The moment I try to speak it, they immediately, damn, speech impediment try to kick in. Fuck. It was. So he eats and drinks as if anyone should swallow a hare, and do not bring him into thyself, nor eat thy morsel with him. I get it as furniture now. It's basically, this is furniture, don't be, interacting with an envious man. That's what it's talking about right here. Oh, okay, that's what it's talking about. Not even you can't, not even eat a hare, meaning don't eat a meal with an envious man, not even a rabbit. Basically just don't be around an envious man, basic bottom line according to this thing. I have to reread this one to get what it means. Anyways, alright. I'm going to start wherever it says the rabbit is, also known as hare. Anyways. So he eats and drinks as if anyone should swallow a hare, also known as a rabbit, and do not bring him in to thyself, nor eat thy morsel with him, referring to an envious man. For he will vomit it up and spoil thy fair words. In other words, envious man will spill out envious words. Anyways, say nothing in the ears of a fool. Say nothing in the ears of a fool, lest at any time he sneer at thy wise words. Remove not the ancient landmarks, and enter not upon the possession of the fatherless. For the Lord is their Redeemer. He is mighty, and will plead their cause with thee. Apply thine heart to instruction, and prepare thine ears for words of discretion. Refrain not from chastening a child. For if thou beat him with the rod, he shall not die. For thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from death. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Beating is not exactly a good idea to do with your child. Unless the child is like doing shit, is bad shit, then only makes sense is like you're punishing him, but you're not killing him. But if you do it like beating it despite, you're just abusing, and that's just fucked up. Anyways, son, if thy heart be wise, thou shalt also gladden my heart, and thy lips shall converse with my lips, if they be right. Let not thine heart envy sinners. Make sure I read this right. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. Oh wait, I had to reread this one since I actually messed up. But be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day. For if thou shouldest keep these things, thou shalt have posterity. Posterity? Yeah. Make sure I had to read this right. And thine hope shall not be removed. No. And thine hope shall not be removed. I had to make sure I read that right. Hear, my son, and be wise, and rightly direct the thoughts of thine heart. Be not a wine bibber. What the fuck is a wine bibber? Oh, let me have some wine. I got a bibber long. Anyways, be not a wine bibber, neither continue long at feasts and purchases of flesh. For every drunkard and whoremonger shall be poor, and every sluggard shall clothe himself with tatters and ragged garments. Hearken, my son, to thy father. Hearken, my son, to thy father. Fucking speech parent. Fuck. Anyways. Hearken, my son, to thy father, which begot thee, and despise not thy mother, because she is grown old. A righteous father brings up his children well, and his soul rejoices over a wise son. Let thy father and thy mother rejoice over thee, and let her that bore thee be glad. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. For a strange house is a vessel full of holes, and a strange well is narrow. For such a one shall perish suddenly, and every transgressor shall be cut off. Who has woe? Who trouble? Who has quarrels? And who vexations and disputes? Who has bruises without a cause? Whose eyes are livid? That one. Whose eyes are livid? Are not those of them that stay long at wine? Are not those of them that haunt the places where banquets are? Be not drunk with wine, but converse with just men, and converse with them openly. For if thou shouldest set time... Oh, I had to reread. This one says it did not say time, it says thine. Anyways, for if thou shouldest set thine eyes on bowls and bowls. Damn, this is the time that I need glasses. Shit. Let's start over. For if thou shouldest set thine eyes on bowls and cups, that's what it actually says. I have to double check what it says. This is the sign I need glasses right there. Fuck. Anyways, I'll start over and just make it up, make sure I read this correctly. For if thou shouldest set thine eyes on bowls and cups, thou shalt afterwards go more naked than a pestle. But at last, such a one stretches himself out as one smitten by a serpent, and venom is diffused through him as by a horned serpent. Whenever thine eyes shall behold a strange woman, then thy mouth shall speak perverse things, and thou shalt lie as in the midst of the sea, and as a pilot in a great storm. And thou shalt say, they smote me, and I was not pained, and they mocked me, and I knew it not. When will it be morning, that I may go and seek those with whom I may go in company? My son, envy not bad men, nor desire to be with them, for their heart meditates falsehoods, and their lips speak mischief. Their lips speak mischiefs. A house is built by wisdom, and is set up by understanding, by discretion. The chambers are filled with all precious
and excellent wealth. A wise man is better than a strong man, and a man who has prudence than a large estate. War is carried on with generalship, and aid is supplied to the heart of a counselor. Wisdom and good understanding are in the gates of the wise. The wise turn not aside from the mouth of the Lord, but deliberate in counsel. Death befalls uninstructed men. The fool also dies in sins, and uncleanness attaches to a pestilent man. He shall be defiled in the evil day, and in the day of affliction, until he be utterly consumed. Deliver them that are led away to death, and redeem them that are appointed to be slain. Spare not thy help, but if thou shouldest say, I know not this man, know that the Lord knows the hearts of all, and he that formed breath, for all he knows all things, who renders to every man according to his works. My son, eat honey, for the honeycomb is good, that thy throat may be sweetened. Thus shalt thou perceive wisdom in thy soul. For if thou find it, thine end shall be good, and hope shall not fail thee. Bring not an ungodly man.
This one.
Bring not an ungodly man into the dwelling of the righteous, neither be deceived by the feeding of the belly.
I just had a flash of and immediately thought of like Austin Powers saying, and doing a fat bastard that said to me, "Get in my belly!" Oh, my mini bit. Oh, my baby back ribs. Anyways.
Bring not an ungodly man into the dwelling of the righteous, neither be deceived by the feeding of the belly. For a righteous man will fall 7 times and rise again, but the ungodly shall be without strength in troubles. If thine enemy should fall, rejoice not over him, neither be elated at his overthrow. For the Lord will see it, and it will not please him, and he will turn away his wrath from him. Rejoice not in evildoers, neither be envious of sinners, For the evil man shall have no I read this one. For the evil man shall have no posterity, and the light of the wicked shall be put out. My son, fear God and the king, and do not disobey either of them.
Now, if those who don't know who the king is Jesus Christ, the Son of God. That's why it says, my son, fear God and the king, meaning fear God and Jesus Christ. That's what a king is. Who the king is. Jesus Christ is king. It was, my son, fear God and the king, and do not disobey either of them. We read this again clearly. My son, fear God and the king, and do not disobey either of them. Let me say this again. Do not disobey either of them. Mary's not doing this to make sure I read right.
For they will suddenly punish the ungodly, and who can know the vengeance inflicted by both? A son that keeps the commandment shall escape destruction. For such an one hath fully received it. Let no falsehood be spoken by the king. Let no falsehood be spoken by the king from the tongue. Yea, let no falsehood proceed from his tongue. The king's tongue.
Actually, hold on. I may take this back. This might be referring to a different king. Because Lee is talking about a different description. Because I know damn well Jesus Christ has a different meaning under it too. So this might be a different king he was referring to. Shit. My bad. I had to reread this whole portion right here from the. Alright. I have to go back to my son, fear God and the king part just to read the full thing, so my bad. This damn cord. Alright.
My son, fear God and the king, and do not disobey either of them. For they will suddenly punish the ungodly. That makes sense of, like, both God and Jesus Christ. That is my best assumption. And who can know the vengeance inflicted by both? I read this one. And who can know the vengeance inflicted by both? Alright, make sure it's right. A son that keeps the commandment shall escape destruction. For such an one has fully received it. Let no falsehood be spoken by the king from the tongue. Yea, let no falsehood proceed from his tongue. The king's tongue is a sword, and not one of flesh.
Okay, that is referring to Jesus. Alright. Because literally anything that Jesus says right there is literally like sharp as a sword. Because it literally pierced through like the sinful like flesh. All that. No, Jesus literally is basically All his words is like the sword. It pierces through bullshit. Get straight to the point.
Anyways, the king's tongue is a sword, and not one of flesh, and whosoever shall be given up to it shall be destroyed. For if his wrath should be provoked, he destroys men with cords, and devours men's bones, and burns them up as a flame, so that they are not even fit to be eaten by the young eagles. My son, reverence my words, and receive them, and repent.
So it is referring to Jesus Christ the entire time. My bad. So it is referring to Jesus Christ the entire time. Comes the king part. So I was right. Alright. My bad. It was, my son, reverence my words, and receive them, and repent. These things says the man to them that trust in God, and I cease, for I am the most simple of all men, and there is not in me the wisdom of men. God has taught me wisdom, and I know the knowledge of the holy. I had to read this one, make sure I said it right. Alright, I'll read from here. My son, reverence my words, and receive them, and repent. These things says the man to them that trust in God, and I cease. For I am the most simple of all men, and there is not in me the wisdom of men. God has taught me wisdom, and I know the knowledge of the holy. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Who has gathered the winds in his bosom? Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Who has dominion of all the ends of the earth? What is his name? Or what is the name of his children? I'm literally still reading the pages to those who did not pay attention. Anyways, for all the words of God are tried in the fire, and he defends those that reverence him. Add not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be made a liar. 2 things I ask for thee. Take not favor from me before I die. Remove far from me vanity and falsehood, and give me not wealth or poverty, but appoint me what is needful and sufficient, lest I be filled and become false, and say, who sees me, or be poor and steal, and swear vainly,
by the name of God. Deliver not a servant into the hands of his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be utterly destroyed. A wicked generation curse their father, and do not bless their mother. A wicked generation judge themselves to be just, but do not cleanse their way. A wicked generation have lofty eyes, and exalt themselves with their eyelids. A wicked generation have swords for teeth, and jaw teeth as knives. Ironically, I actually seen something long time ago when I was a student in a certain schools. I seen a student with literal shark teeth. Literally just like rows of literal sharp teeth. It is the most scary, ugly thing I've ever seen. Lord have mercy for saying it, but that's actual truth. I actually seen someone with actual shark teeth roaming around. It's like sharp ass teeth like a damn shark. I kid you fucking not. And that was over in the high school, no less. And that's from personal experience. And I'm not making it up. I wish I was making it up. It's a scary, ugly thing I've ever seen. Lord have mercy on me for saying it, but damn, that's literally what I saw. So that is a possible thing that people walk around with shark teeth. Hi there! Anyways, a wicked generation have swords for teeth and jaw teeth as knives. That's an actual thing. That's an actual like you might actually see of a human with actual shark teeth. So that could be a literal warning or other type of warning, but still a warning regardless. So as to destroy and devour the lowly from the earth, and the poor of them from among men. And this thing I say to you that are wise for you to learn. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. Which is understandable from me. I just did that. Don't do what I did, as you just heard, but I just tell you exactly what I saw. As a reference, that's just like shark teeth. Don't do what I did, but I just tell you exactly what I saw while I was a student in high school. I shit you not. But anyways, and this thing I say to you that are wise for you to learn. It is not good to have respect of persons in judgment. He that says of the ungodly, he is righteous, shall be cursed by peoples, and hateful among the nations. But they that reprove him shall appear more excellent, and blessing shall come upon them. And men will kiss lips that answer well. Prepare thy works for thy going forth, and prepare thyself for the field, and come after me, and thou shalt rebuild thine house. Be not a false witness against thy fellow citizen, neither exaggerate with thy lips. Say not, as he has treated me. Say not, as he has treated me, so will I treat him, and I will avenge myself on him, for that wherein he has injured me. A foolish man is like a farm, and a senseless man is like a vineyard or vineyard, depending where you're at. He was vineyard. If thou let him alone, he will altogether remain barren and covered with weeds, and he becomes destitute, and his stone walls are broken down. Afterwards I reflected. I looked that I might receive instruction. The sluggard says, I slumber a little, and I sleep a little, and for a little while I fold my arms across my breast. But if thou do this, thy poverty will come speedily, and thy want like a swift courier. The horse leech had 3 dearly beloved daughters, and these 3 did not satisfy her, and the 4th was not contented, so as to say enough. The grave and the love of a woman, and the earth not filled with water, water also, and fire will not say, it is enough. The eye that laughs to scorn a father, and dishonors the old age of a mother, let the ravens of the valleys pick it out, and let the young eagles devour it. Moreover, there are the I read this part. Damn speech impediment. Moreover, there are 3 things impossible for me to comprehend, and the 4th I know not. The track of a flying eagle, and the ways of a serpent on a rock, and the paths of a ship passing through the sea, and the ways of a man in youth. Such is the way of an adulterous woman, who having washed herself from what she has done, says she has done nothing amiss. By 3 things the earth is troubled, and the 4th it cannot bear. If a servant reign, or a fool be filled with food, or if a maid servant should cast out her own mistress, and if a hateful woman should marry a good man. I'll make sure I read this right. And if a hateful woman should marry a good man, and there are 4 very little things upon the earth, but these are wiser than the wise. The ants, which are weak, and yet prepare their food in summer. The rabbits also are a feeble race, who make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, and yet march orderly at one command. And the I reread this one. And theft. Wait, it didn't say theft. Is this combined or is this? This is THEEFT, or it's been divided, or is this EFT? Fuck it. It says, and the EFT. EFT. And the EFT, which supports itself by its hands. What the fuck is an EFT? I have to look that shit up now. Now I have to look it up. What the fuck does it mean? Oh, so it is NEFT. Okay. Alright. According to this, according to damn Google, the term EFT in the Septuagint with Apocrypha refers to a type of small, easily captured reptile. Oh, this is a fucking lizard. Oh, alright. So basically, the EFT is a fucking lizard. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to read this part now. The locusts have no king, and yet march orderly at one command. And the EFT, also known as the lizard, which supports itself by its hands, and is easily taken, dwells in the fortress of kings. And there are 3 things which go well, and a 4th which passes along finally, a lion's whelp, stronger than all other beasts, which turns not away nor fears any beast, and a cock walking in boldly among the hens. That be the chicken. Those in it think otherwise, you got a damn dirty mind. and a goat leading the herd, and a king publicly speaking before a nation. If thou abandon thyself to mirth, and stretch forth thine hand in a quarrel, thou shalt be disgraced. Milk out milk, and there shall be butter. And if thou wring one's nostrils, there shall come out blood. So if thou exhort words, there will come forth quarrels and strifes. My words have been spoken by God, the Oracular, Oracular, something like that, Oracular, answer of a king whom his mother instructed. What wilt thou keep, my son? What? The words of God, my firstborn son. I speak to thee. What? Son of my womb. What? Son of my vows. Give not thy wealth to woman, nor thy mind and living to remorse. Do all things with counsel. Drink wine with counsel. Princes are prone to anger. Let them then not drink wine, lest they drink and forget wisdom, and be not able to judge the poor rightly. Give strong drink to those that are in sorrow, and the wine to drink to those in pain, that they may forget their poverty, and may not remember their troubles anymore. Open thy mouth with the word of God, and judge all fairly. Open thy mouth, and judge justly, and plead the cause of the poor and weak. These are the miscellaneous instructions of Solomon, which the friends of Ezekiel, king of Judea, copied out. The glory of God conceals a matter, but the glory of a king honors business. Heaven is high, and earth is deep, and a king's heart is unsearchable. Beat the drossy silver, and it shall be made entirely pure. Slay the ungodly from before the king, and his throne shall prosper in righteousness. Be not boastful in the presence of the king, and remain not in the places of princes, for it is better for thee that it should be said, come up to me, than that one should humble thee in the presence of the prince. Speak of that which thine eyes have seen. Get not suddenly into a quarrel, lest thou repent at last. I had to make sure it is right. Get not suddenly into a quarrel, lest thou repent at last. Whenever thy friend shall reproach thee, retreat backward, despise him not. Lest thy friend continue to reproach thee, so thy quarrel and enmity, shall not depart, but shall be to thee like death. Favor and friendship set a man free, which do thou keep for thyself, lest thou be made liable to reproach. But take heed to thy ways peaceably. Wait, make sure I said this right. Peaceably, not P.I., but damn it, fucking mouth. Peaceably, peaceably. Make sure I read that right before the speech period fuck me over. Peaceably, as a golden apple in a necklace of sardius. So it is it to speak a wise word in an earring of gold, a precious sardius is also set. I get the name as sardius. It's spelled S-A-R-D-I-U-S, but almost closely to say sardines. It's a walking, talking sardine named Sardius. Nah, but serious. Besides the joking manner, this is a similar dude named Sardius. I had to read this person since I just got distracted from making jokes on the name. Yeah, Lord have mercy on me on that one. Just the name screams the name of a fish, almost. It was as a golden apple in a necklace of sardius. So it is to speak a wise word in an earring of gold. A precious sardius is also set. So is a wise word to an obedient ear. As a fall of snow in the time of harvest is good against heat, so a faithful messenger refreshes those that send him, for he helps the souls of his employers. As winds and clouds and rains are most evident objects, so is he that boasts of a false gift. In long suffering is prosperity to kings, and a soft tongue breaks the bones. Having found honey, eats only what is enough, lest haply Wait, haply. Hold on. It's not happily, it's haply. 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 Lest haply thou be filled and vomit it up. Enter sparingly into thy friend's house, lest he be what the fuck is this word? Satiated. Satiated with thy company, and hate thee as a club and a dagger and a pointed arrow. So also is a man who bears false witness against his friend. The way of the wicked and the foot of the transgressor shall perish in an evil day. As vinegar is bad for a sore, and trouble befalling the body afflicts the heart, as a moth in a garment, and a worm in wood, so the grief of a man hurts the heart. If thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee with good. The north wind raises clouds, so an impudent face provokes the tongue. It is better to dwell on the corner of the roof than with a railing woman in an open house. As cold water is agreeable to a thirsting soul, so is a good message from a land far off. As if one should stop a well and corrupt a spring of water, so is it unseemly for a righteous man to fall before an ungodly man. It is not good to eat much money. Fucking damn it. It says honey. Obviously you can't eat money. Fucking speech impairment. It is not good to eat much honey. It is not good to eat much honey. Alright. But it is right to honor venerable sayings, as a city whose walls are broken down, and which is unfortified, so is a man who does anything without counsel. So is a man who does anything without counsel. As dew in harvest, and as rain in summer, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As birds and sparrows fly, so a curse shall not come upon any one without a cause, as a whip for a horse, and a goad for an ass, so is a rod for a simple nation. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou become like him. Yet answer a fool according to his folly, lest he seem wise in his own conceit. He that sends a message by a foolish messenger procures for himself a reproach from his own ways, as will take away the motion of the legs, as transgression from the mouth of fools. He that binds up a stone in a sling is like one that gives glory to a fool. Thorns grow in the hand of a drunkard, and servitude in the hand of fools. All the flesh of fools endures much hardship, for their fury is brought to naught, as when a dog goes to his own vomit, and becomes abominable, so is a fool who returns in his wickedness to his own sin. There is a shame that brings sin, and there is shame that is glory and grace. I have seen a man who seemed to himself to be wise, but a fool had more hope than he. A sluggard, when sent on a journey, says, "There is a lion in the ways, and there are murderers in the streets." As a door turns on the hinge, so does a sluggard on his bed. A sluggard, having hid his hand in his bosom, will not be able to bring it up to his mouth. A sluggard seems to himself wiser than one who most satisfactorily brings back a message. As he that lays hold of a dog's tail, so is he that makes himself the champion of another's cause. As those who need correction put forth fair words to men, and he that first falls in with the proposal will be overthrown. So are all that lay wait for their own friends, and when they are discovered, say, "I did it in jest." With much wood fire increases, but where there is not a double-minded man, strife ceases. A heart for coals, and wood for fire, and a railing man for the tumult of strife. At least I didn't change scene. Anyways. Railing man for the tumult of strife, the words of cunning Knaves, novice, are soft, but they smite even to the inmost parts of the bowels. Silver dishonestly given is to be considered as a potsherd. Smooth lips cover a grievous heart. A weeping enemy promises all things with his lips, but in his heart he contrives deceit. Though thine enemy entreat thee with a loud voice, consent not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. He that hides enmity frames deceit, but being easily discerned exposes his own sins in the public assemblies. He that digs a pit for his neighbor shall fall into it, and he that rolls a stone rolls it upon himself. A lying tongue hates the truth, and the unguarded mouth causes tumults. 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 Boast not of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what the next day shall bring forth. Let thy neighbor and not thine own mouth praise thee, a stranger, and not thine own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand cumbersome, but a fool's wrath is heavier than both. Wrath is merciless, and anger sharp, but envy can bear nothing. Open reproofs are better than secret love. Open reproofs are better than secret love. The wounds of a friend are more to be trusted than the spontaneous kisses of an enemy. A full soul scorns honeycombs, but to a hungry soul even bitter things appear sweet. As when a bird flies down from its own nest, so a man is brought into bondage whenever he estranges himself from his own place. The heart delights in ointments and wines and perfumes, but the soul is broken by calamities. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not, and when thou art in distress, go not into thy brother's house. Better is a friend that is near than a brother living far off. Son, be wise that thy heart may rejoice, and remove thou from thyself reproachable words. A wise man, when evils are approaching, hides himself, but fools pass on and will be punished. Take away the man's garment, for a scorner has passed by. whoever lays waste another's goods, whosoever shall bless a friend in the morning with a loud voice, shall seem to differ nothing from one who curses him. On a stormy day, drops of rain drive a man out of his house. So also does a railing woman drive a man out of his own house. The north wind is sharp, but it is called by name propitious. Iron sharpens iron, and a man sharpens his friend's countenance. He that plants a fig tree shall eat the fruits of it. So he that waits on his own master shall be honored. As faces are not like other faces, so neither are the thoughts of men. Hail and destruction are not filled, so also are the eyes of men. Insatiable, insatiable, I guess it was called. It was, he that fixes his eye is an abomination to the Lord. And the uninstructed do not restrain their tongue. Fire is the trial for silver and gold, and a man is tried by the mouth of them that praise him. The heart of the transgressor seeks after mischiefs, but an upright heart seeks knowledge. One more page. Thou scourge a fool, disgracing him in the midst of the council. Thou wilt still in no wise remove his folly from him. Do thou thoroughly know the number of thy flock, and pay attention to thine herds. For a man has not strength and power forever, neither does he transmit it from generation to generation. Take care of the herbage in the field, and thou shalt cut grass, and gather the mountain hay. That thou mayest have wool of sheep for clothing, pay attention to the land, that thou mayest have lambs. My son, thou hast from me words very useful for thy life, and for the life of thy servants. The ungodly man flees when no one pursues, but the righteous is confident as a lion by reason of the sins of ungodly. Men quarrels arise, but a wise man will quell them. A bold man oppresses the poor by ungodly deeds, as an impetuous and unprofitable reign. So they that forsake the law praise ungodliness, But they that love the law fortify themselves with a wall. Evil men will not understand judgment, but they that seek the Lord will understand everything. A poor man walking in truth is better than a rich liar. A poor man walking in truth is better than a rich liar. A wise son keeps the law, but he that keeps up debauchery dishonors his father. He that increases his wealth by usuries and unjust read this one. He that increases his wealth by usuries and unjust gains gathers it for him that pities the poor. He that turns away his ear from hearing the law, even he has made his prayer abominable. He that causes upright men to err in an evil way, himself shall fall into destruction. Transgressors also shall pass by prosperity, but shall not enter into it. A rich man is wise in his own conceit, but an intelligent poor man will condemn him by reason of the help of righteous men. Great glory arises, but in the places of the ungodly men are caught. He that covers his own ungodliness shall not prosper, but he that blames himself shall be loved. Blessed is the man who righteously fears always, but the hard of heart shall fall into mischief. A hungry lion and a thirsty wolf is he, who being poor rules over a poor nation. A king in need of revenues is a great oppressor, but he that hates injustice shall live a long time. He that becomes surety for a man charged with murder shall be an exile, and not in safety. Chasten thy son, and he shall love thee, and give honor to thy soul. He shall not obey a sinful nation. He that walks justly is assisted, but he that walks in crooked ways shall be entangled therein. He that tills his own land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that follows idleness or is it idleness or idleness? Anyways, but he that follows idleness shall have plenty of poverty. A man worthy of credit shall be much blessed, but the wicked shall not be unpunished. He that reverences not the persons of the just is not good. Such a one will sell a man for a morsel of bread. An envious man makes haste to be rich, and knows not that the merciful man will have the mastery over him. He that reproves a man's ways shall have more favor than he that flatters with the tongue. He that casts off father or mother, and thinks he sins not, the same is partaker with an ungodly man. An unbelieving man judges rashly, but he that trusts in the Lord will act carefully. He that trusts to a bold heart, such an one is a fool. But he that walks in wisdom shall be safe. He that gives to the poor shall not be in want. But he that turns away his eye from him shall be in great distress. In the places of ungodly men the righteous mourn, but in their destruction the righteous shall be multiplied. A reprover is better than a stiff-necked man, for when the latter is suddenly set on fire, there shall be no remedy. When the righteous are praised, the people will rejoice. But when the ungodly rule, men mourn. When a man loves wisdom, his father rejoices. But he that keeps harlots will waste wealth. Harlots, old word saying hoes. Anyways, a righteous king establishes a country. But a transgressor destroys it. He that prepares a net in the way of his own friend entangles his own feet in it. A great snare is spread for a sinner, but the righteous shall be in joy and gladness. A righteous man knows how to judge for the poor, but the ungodly understands not. Knowledge and the poor man has not an understanding mind. Lawless men burn down a city, but a wise man turn away wrath. A wise man shall judge nations, but a worthless man, being angry, laughs and fears not. Bloody men hate a holy person. Sounds like every damn Muslim in their damn like fucking like what was speaking of those who follow Allah is the mostly a bloody person who hates holy person. Oh, I remember the damn Quran. Whoever follows the damn Quran is most likely a bloody person who hates a holy person. Watch out for those. Anyways, bloody man hates a holy person. The same holy man who follows the Quran. Yes, bloody man hates a holy person, but the upright will seek his soul. A fool utters all his mind, but the wise reserves his in part. When a king hearkens to unjust language, all his subjects are transgressors. When the creditor and debtor meet together, the Lord oversees them both. When a king judges the poor in truth, his throne shall be established for the testimony. I make sure I read this right. For a testimony, stripes and reproofs give wisdom, but an erring child disgraces his parents. When the ungodly abound, sins abound, but when they fall, the righteous are warned. Chasten thy son, and he shall give thee rest, and he shall give honor to thy soul. There shall be no interpreter to a sinful nation, but he that observes the law is blessed. A stubborn servant will not be reproved by words, for even if he understand, still he will not obey. If thou see a man hasty in his words, know that the fool has hope rather than he. He that lives wantonly from a child shall be a servant, and in the end shall grieve over himself. A furious man stirs up strife, and a passionate man digs up sin. Pride brings a man low, but the Lord upholds the humble-minded with honor. He that shares with a thief hates his own soul. And if any, having heard an oath, uttered tell not of it, they fearing and I make sure I read this right. They fearing and reverencing 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 men unreasonably have been overthrown, but he that trusts in the Lord shall rejoice. Ungodliness causes a man to stumble, but he that trusts in his master shall be safe. Many wait on the favor of rulers, but justice comes to a man from the Lord. A righteous man is an abomination to an unrighteous man, and the direct way is an abomination to a sinner. Who shall find virtuous woman? For such a one is more valuable than precious stones. The heart of her husband trusts in her. Such a one shall stand in no need of fine spoils, for she employs all her living for her husband's good, gathering wool and flax She makes it and reread this one. She makes it serviceable with her hands. She is like a ship trading from a distance, so she procures her livelihood, and she rises by night and gives food to her household and appointed tasks to her maidens. She views a farm and buys it, and with the fruit of her hands she plants a possession. She strongly girds her loins and strengthens her arms for work, and she finds by experience that working is good, and her candle goes not out all night. Wait, I'm gonna reread this part. And her candle goes not out all night. She reaches forth her arms to needful works, and applies her hands to the spindle, and she opens her hands to the needy, and reaches out fruit to the poor. Her husband is not anxious about those at home when he tarries anywhere abroad, for all her household are clothed. She makes for her husband clothes of double texture, and garments for herself of fine linen and scarlet, and her husband becomes a distinct fucking speech impediment becomes a distinguished person in the gates when he sits in council with the old inhabitants of the land. She makes fine linens and sells girdles to the Canaanites. She opened her mouth heedfully and with propriety, and controls her tongue. She puts on strength and honor, and I'm speech impediment kicking my ass. That's fucking annoying. She puts on strength and honor and rejoices in the last days. Fucking speech impediment. I'm trying to say rejoices in a fucking up. She puts on strength and honor and rejoices in the last days. The ways of her household are careful, and she eats not the bread of idleness, but she opens her mouth wisely, and according to law, and her kindness to them sets up her children for them, and they grow rich, and her husband praises her. Many daughters have obtained wealth, many have wrought valiantly, but thou hast surpassed all. Charms are false, and woman's beauty is vain. Charms are false, and woman's beauty is vain. For it is a wise woman that is blessed. And let her praise the fear of the Lord. give her of the fruit of her lips, and let her husband be praised in the gates. That is it for Proverbs section of the Apocrypha on page 818. Now, we're now at the next chapter on page 819. Ecclesiastes. Ecolias. What? Ecclesiastes? Whatever the fuck it's called. We're on that now. And I say this is the end of a stream. And I hope you enjoyed the stream and all that. And yeah, that's it for now on the Apocrypha. Whose bike is it? Here we go. Well, shit. Let me put that bike back. Woo!
I'm stuck. Ah!
I didn't know there's a fucking train here. Shit. Well, better catch my next one. Later.